Vincent Van Gogh by Ava Hess. Vincent Van Gogh was an interesting artist who died poor and alone, but is now a very famous artist. His painting of the sunflowers, 1888, sold for one of the most amounts ever, $83 million. He painted miners and peasants, then moved on to impasto and landscapes. He lived mostly in France and died when he was 32. He was closest to his brother Theo. He had no friends. Van Gogh was born in March 30th, 1853, in a Dutch village of Groot-Zonder near the Belgian border. His father passed down a respect for humanity, and his mother passed down her love of art. He had 6 siblings, so their parents struggled to get them all an education. Since he was the oldest, he was the first to go away to school, and he was sad. He was an average student but worked very hard. He learned 4 languages as well as many other things. On March of 1868, he came back home, spent a year with his parents, then decided not to go back to school. He was 16 years old when he left home to earn a living. His first job was in an art gallery where he was insulted by the public and very unhappy. Next, he was a teacher where the kids were demons, and again, he was not happy. He felt like it was just not what he should do in life. Then he was a minister, a church worker like his father. He preached to the miners and many other people, but again, he was not happy, so he took to drawing the miners. From then on, he never stopped drawing. He survived off the money his brother Theo sent him, whom he wrote to a lot. His first painting is of the Potato Eaters, 1885. In 1888, he decided to go to the south of France. Paul Gauguin, an artist who was very cranky and loved criticizing Vincent, joined him as his partner, but it was so disastrous when they stayed up all night and painted all day. It was bad for their health, so Gauguin tried to leave Arles. Van Gogh pursued Gauguin with an open razor. Van Gogh was mad and ended up with part of his ear missing. There are many theories on how he lost it. Some say that Gauguin was so good at sword fighting that he chopped it right off. He had mental health issues and had to get treatment. In May 1890, after he seemed better, he went to live in a Vaudreuil, place for mentally ill people. He painted it under the watchful eye of Dr. Gatchet. 2 months later, he died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound in the stomach. During his brief career, he sold only 1 painting, lived in poverty, malnourishment, and overworked. The money he got came from his brother Theo, was used on art supplies, coffee, and cigars. My personal favorite of his works is Starry Night, 1888. Starry Night is now at a museum in New York. When I was little, me and my dad took my sister to New York, and I touched the painting with both hands, which is surprising because my teacher was a foot away from the painting, and all the alarms went off without even touching it. The Starry Night is made mostly of dark colors, but the stars are bright yellow. Starry Night is my favorite painting. The colors in it make me feel happy, and it reminds me of being in bed, safe and warm. He painted it in Aslam at St. Remy in 1888. Between November of 1881 and July 1890, he painted 900 paintings. Since his death, he became one of the most famous artists ever. His painting of the sunflowers around the time of 1887 in Paris. The sunflowers sold for the most amount ever, $83 million, and it is done in impasto. Really thick paint. It is so pretty and reminds me of when me and my family were driving in the country. One of his pieces is the bedroom in Arles, 1888, which Gauguin criticized and said was in need of cleaning. In the painting, his room is clean, so we think Van Gogh took his word for it. Van Gogh, in my opinion, is very cool, but he should have worked with his painting with his brother Theo. Even though he only sold 1 painting, he is now very famous. I chose Van Gogh because his work inspires me and is very pretty. I hope you like his works, and I hope you do too. And remember, be creative.